Today you stand at a choice point, and every habit you have will decide your future. Have you ever felt stuck watching goals slip through your fingers? Are you ready to commit to growth? In this video, I will share 10 habits that shape your mornings, guide your mindset, and spark real change. You will learn how simple actions like controlling your morning, moving your body, and feeding your mind can unlock strength you never knew you had. You will discover why saving money and speaking honestly build respect and confidence, and why cutting distractions and planning your days sharpens your focus. You will see how owning every decision and pushing through hard moments forges unbreakable grit. Each habit comes from real experience and proven examples to help you take action today. Stay with me until the end and start your path to success now. Feel the shift in action. Number 1. Wake up earlier every day to control your morning. The alarm rings at 5 a.m. and the world around you is still. You feel the cool air against your skin, and the quiet fills your chest like a blank page waiting for your story. In this moment, you hold power over what you will do next. You can stay under the covers and let the day decide your mood, or you can rise and shape the hours that follow. The choice you make in these first breaths will ripple through every task and every conversation you have. You may believe that staying in bed is harmless, but every extra minute of sleep steals energy and self-respect from you. You know that sinking feeling when you wake just in time to rush out the door. That stress collides with every meeting you attend and every decision you make. When you reach out from your pillow and press snooze, you trade discipline for comfort. You trade focus for distraction. You trade control for chaos. On the other hand, when you lift your head off the pillow and plant your feet on the floor, you make a statement to yourself. You declare that your day does not start at the office. Your day does not start when traffic clears. Your day begins here and now. When you decide you are worth the effort, feel the floor under your feet. Notice the texture of the rug or the cool wood grasping your toes. Notice how your breathing deepens as you stand. That is the spark that ignites everything else. You may doubt that this small shift can matter, but science shows that waking earlier rewires your mind for success. Studies prove that early risers score higher on self-control and show greater optimism. Think of those qualities as tools you carry into your work, into your relationships, and into your challenges. When you face a deadline, you draw on strength built in that quiet hour. When you meet resistance, you reach deep into discipline that was forged before sunrise. Tomorrow morning, set your alarm 15 minutes earlier than usual. Do not argue with the sound. Do not linger under blankets, promising to start fresh 5 minutes later. Swing your legs off the bed. Stand up and walk to the window. Let your eyes adjust to the dim light and watch the sky shift from dark to pale. Notice how the air smells different before the rush begins. Take 2 full breaths. Feel your lungs expand. Next step, move your body. You do not need a full workout. Just stretch your arms overhead. Lean into your hips. Bend at the waist. Feel the tension leave your spine. Notice the muscles you never use when you sleep. Let your heart rate rise just enough to remind you that life is a gift, and you are here to use it. That simple motion clears mental fog and prepares your mind for challenge. Then reach for something that grows your mind. Open a book and read a page or two. Let those words settle in your thoughts. Let them guide you to new ideas and new goals. You might read about someone who overcame hardship, or you might learn a fact that sparks a plan. Whatever you choose, feed your mind before filling your inbox or scrolling your phone. Every minute you invest in your growth compounds into new opportunities. As the sun edges higher and birds begin their calls, your body will feel the rhythm of purpose. That feeling cannot compete with the rush of notifications or the chatter of busy offices. You hold a calm confidence born from discipline. You have built a habit that shows you respect yourself. You have built a routine that tells you success is not an accident, but a choice. You may face nights when sleep seems more tempting than discipline. You may lie awake wondering if a full hour of extra rest outweighs the sweat of early effort. Remember that every success story is built on a foundation of small choices made repeatedly. One morning of waking early does not change everything, but one morning leads to another, and another until your life reflects the intention you planted. Keep a log of your progress. Write the time you woke and jot down how you felt. Note your energy level and your mood. With every entry, you gather proof that this habit works. You learn what time suits you best, what routine lifts you fastest, and what small actions deliver the greatest results. You collect data on yourself, and that knowledge becomes a roadmap to your highest potential. Share your progress with someone you trust. There is power in accountability. When you tell a friend or family member that you will rise at a specific time, you create a bond of trust. You build a team of silent supporters who cheer you on before you even sip your first cup of coffee. Their belief in you echoes in your mind when your body wants to linger under covers. Over weeks, this practice transforms you from someone who reacts to the day into someone who directs it. You feel the sunrise as a reward for your effort, not as a reminder of miles to go. You stand ready for challenges and open to opportunities. Every goal seems closer because you greet each morning with clear eyes and a strong heart. Beyond personal gain, you inspire others by your example. A child may watch you rise and learn that work precedes leisure. A colleague may notice your sharp focus and ask how you maintain energy. You become a beacon for those who wish to grow. Your habit becomes a legacy that spreads to everyone you meet. Imagine looking back at this decision years from now. You realize that waking early was not about time. It was about identity. You became the person who moves forward instead of waiting for change. You became someone who respects effort and values purpose. You became someone others trust and follow. Now picture tomorrow when your alarm rings and you no longer hesitate. You open your eyes and feel anticipation instead of dread. You place your feet on the floor and rise without thought. You know that every silent moment before sunrise belongs to you and holds the promise of everything you can achieve. Your call to action is simple. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier tonight. Commit to standing up when it rings. Feel the floor beneath your feet. Stretch your body, breathe in the new air. Feed your mind and record your progress. Let that choice echo through your week, your month, and your year. Watch as every goal grows clearer and every dream moves closer. The path to success starts with the decision to take control of your morning. You have the power to shape your day and shape your future. Rise earlier and claim the gift of those quiet hours. Start today and discover who you can become when you choose discipline over comfort. Number 2, exercise daily to build strength and discipline. Have you ever felt that sting deep in your chest when you stare at the mirror and wonder why the person looking back doesn't match the person you always promised yourself you would be? You're not alone. So many people walk through life carrying that quiet pain. They remember a time when their body felt strong, when their energy felt unstoppable, when getting out of bed was easy because their body felt alive. And yet somewhere along the way, things changed. The days became long, the nights became short, and movement became optional. But deep down, you still remember what it felt like to have strength and discipline. What you're about to hear is more than a lesson. It's a reminder that you have the power to change. Not in some far-off moment, not when the stars align, but right now, starting with a simple choice. Exercising every day doesn't just build strength in your body. It builds strength in your character. Every bead of sweat that falls from your forehead is proof that you can do hard things, that you can show up for yourself when no one else is watching. You don't exercise because someone told you to. You exercise because it reminds you who you are. You exercise because it is a direct message to your heart, telling it you're worth the effort. It doesn't matter if you've been away from it for weeks, months, or years. What matters is that you decide in this moment to move. Think about how you felt as a child when you ran across a playground. The wind pressed against your skin, your heart pounded, and every step felt like freedom. You weren't trying to burn calories. You weren't chasing a number on a scale. You were chasing life itself. You deserve to feel that way again. You deserve to walk out your door and feel strength in your legs and discipline in your chest. You deserve to stand tall and say, today, I chose to honor myself. Most people wait for the right moment. They wait for motivation to tap their shoulder like an old friend. They wait until the stars align, or until work calms down, or until life somehow grants them permission. But motivation doesn't come. Action doesn't wait. You must move first. You must create the spark that will light the flame. Put on your shoes. Push the door open. Step out into the air and claim this day. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel like it. Not when it's convenient. Right now. The beauty of daily exercise is that it doesn't have to be a punishment. It doesn't have to be a war you wage against yourself. It can be an agreement. A quiet promise that you are worth 10 minutes, worth 20, worth an hour if you can give it. What you build every day is more than a body. You build a bond with yourself. You prove, one step at a time, one bead of sweat at a time, that you can be counted on. And when that voice in your head whispers, give up, you answer with a breath that says, I can keep going. This is where discipline is born. Not in moments of ease, not when everything goes your way. It's born when you're tired and drained and feel like no one is watching. It's born when you tie your shoes knowing that no one is there to cheer and you walk out the door anyway. That's when you carve strength into your bones. That's when you build a foundation that will carry you when life shakes. People fear exercise because it reminds them of pain. But the truth is, every moment of discomfort in that space reshapes who you are. The sting of burning muscles, the sting of breathless moments, is the sting of life reshaping itself within you. It is your body whispering, I am growing. I am adapting. I am becoming stronger because you refuse to walk away. And soon, those moments that felt like a fight become moments you crave. Not because you love pain, but because you love the person you become when you step through it. Imagine standing at the end of a long day knowing you gave yourself 30 minutes of movement. Not for vanity, not a number, not for applause, but for pride. Pure, deep pride that you refuse to break a promise to yourself. That feeling doesn't fade when you walk out of the gym or when you roll up a yoga mat. It stays. It seeps into every thought, every conversation, every choice. Suddenly the discipline you learned in those moments spreads. You make better choices at work. You listen better at home. You stand up for yourself when it's hard because you've practiced doing hard things every morning. People will tell you that time is a reason, that life is too busy, too unpredictable, but strength doesn't ask for permission. Strength doesn't wait for a convenient moment. You carve strength out of the moments you have. You rise 10 minutes earlier. You walk 10 minutes longer. You carve space for yourself in a world that will consume every second you don't claim. You owe yourself that space. Each day you walk this path, you redefine who you are. You aren't a person hoping for a better life. You're a person creating it. You're a person making an agreement with yourself that can't be broken. You're a person setting an example for the people who watch you and don't say a word. They notice. The quiet strength you build will whisper to those around you. It will tell your children, your friends, your coworkers, that discipline is not a punishment. It is a gift. Today, when you stand at the edge of doubt, when you wonder if this is worth it, remember this. The best moments in life are built when no one is cheering, when no one is recording, when no one is telling you how strong you can be. They are built when you move because it is right, when you stay the course because it is worth it, when you give yourself a chance to rise because deep down you already know you can. This is not about a perfect body. This is about a strong mind. This is about teaching yourself every day that you can count on the person staring back at you in the mirror. Today, tie those shoes, pick up that weight, push out that door. Do one thing for yourself that no one can take from you. Do it for the person you will be tomorrow. Do it for the person you deserve to become. Stand tall, move forward, stay strong, stay disciplined. The first step is always the hardest, but it's the one that reshapes your story. The person you're meant to be is waiting for you to rise, and every drop of sweat you leave on the floor is a bridge to that version of yourself. Do it today. Do it every day. You owe it to yourself. The life you dream of starts when you decide to move. The person you want to be starts when you walk out the door. Do it now, not later. Not when it feels right. Do it because you deserve it. And because every step you take is proof that you can. Number 3, read every night to feed your mind. Tonight, the pages of a book give more value than any screen, and you can feel that truth in every fiber of your being as you hold that book in your hands. You might be tired from the day's work, or your mind might feel cluttered with endless tasks. Yet this moment offers a chance to shift everything. As you open the cover, you can feel the slight roughness of the paper and hear the soft whisper of the pages turning. That sound is a promise that knowledge is within reach, and you are one choice away from reaching it. You know how it feels when you wake up and your mind races with worries about deadlines or bills or conversations you need to have. It can leave you drained before breakfast. Reading at night offers a different path. It gives your mind a clear signal that you are switching from stress mode into growth mode. You settle into your chair and feel the lamp's warm glow cast a calm light on the words in front of you. That warmth seeps into your chest and slows the racing thoughts. You begin to read and your focus sharpens. Many people skip this step because they tell themselves they are too busy or too tired. They say they will catch up on reading someday when their schedule lightens. The problem is that schedule never lightens. Life never hands out empty hours. You have to claim them. When you decide to read every night, you declare that feeding your mind matters at least as much as feeding your body. You prove to yourself that learning and growing are non-negotiable parts of your life. Imagine the effect on your confidence when you know you are reading something that stretches your thinking. You finish a chapter and you pause. You feel your chest tighten as new ideas flicker through your brain. You might feel your heart beat faster because a sentence hit you like a jolt of clarity. That feeling is the spark of inspiration that can start a new habit at work or transform a relationship at home. You feel alive because you are connecting with ideas that matter. Choose a book that excites you tonight. It might be about leadership or personal growth, or a story of someone who overcame great challenge. It might be a manual that teaches a new skill, or a guide that helps you understand yourself better. Whatever you pick, it needs to pull you in. You need to feel curiosity when you open it. That curiosity will drive you to read another page and another, until you lose track of time and enter a state of flow where learning becomes effortless. Set a simple routine. Find a quiet corner in your home where you can sit for at least 20 minutes. Turn off notifications on your phone or leave your device in another room. Let the only light you see come from a lamp or a low-watt bulb. Notice how the scene changes when you replace blue light with soft yellow. Observe the comfort of the chair beneath you and the way your body relaxes. And you lean back. These small details anchor you in the moment and help you sink into the text. Your mind may protest at first. It might beg for entertainment or distraction, or promise itself a quick scroll through social media. In that tug of war, remember that entertainment fades fast and leaves you hungry for more. Reading feeds your mind in a way nothing else can. Each sentence you absorb adds to your store of knowledge. Every page you finish becomes a building block of wisdom. Over time, these blocks form a structure you can stand on to reach higher goals. Think about the person you want to become. Picture the skills you need, the confidence you crave, the clarity you seek. Reading every night is a direct path toward that vision. You won't find shortcuts here. There is no magic pill or instant download of expertise. Growth happens gradually, and reading is the engine that drives it. Each book you read equips you with insight you can apply in crucial moments and with examples you can follow when you face your own challenges. The real power arrives when you combine what you read with action. Don't let pages collect dust on your shelf. As you read, underline sentences that move you. Keep a notebook and jot down 3 ideas you want to test tomorrow. Maybe it's a daily planning method you discover, a phrase that changes the way you speak to yourself. These notes become your action plan. They link the world of ideas to the world of results. You turn passive reading into active change. You'll notice the shift in your conversations as well. When friends or colleagues ask you for advice, you'll have examples to share. You'll reference ideas you learned last night, and you'll speak with confidence, because you know what you're talking about. That sense of authority draws people towards you. They see that you're not just talking theory, you're living it. You become someone who inspires curiosity in others and sparks conversations that matter. It's natural to skip a night or a week. Life gets busy. A family emergency pops up. A work crisis demands extra hours. But remember that consistency is the invisible engine powering extraordinary results. Every night you read, you deposit a small check into your knowledge account. Skipping is like withdrawing more than you deposit. Over time, you want the balance to grow, not shrink. Make reading every night a non-negotiable appointment with yourself. As this habit takes root, you'll find yourself craving new books. You'll feel a restless excitement when you finish one, because you'll already be looking for the next. You'll plan trips to the library, or scan lists of bestsellers and neglected classes. That excitement is proof that you have reignited your love of learning. You have turned feeding your mind into a ritual that brings genuine joy and lasting improvement. Soon you'll discover that reading transforms your view of challenge. When a problem seems overwhelming, you'll remember a strategy or a perspective you encountered in a book. You'll lean on that knowledge to find a solution that you might never have considered otherwise. That is the power of an informed mind. You build a toolkit of ideas that you can reach for whenever life tests you. You become someone who solves problems rather than someone who feels defeated by them. Tonight, when you pick up your book, listen to the silence around you as the only voice you hear. Let the outside noise fade, and let those printed words shape your thoughts. As you read, you'll feel a gentle rise of energy in your chest. You'll feel your brain light up. You'll realize that this small action is fueling every part of your life. You'll feel connected to a tradition of thinkers and doers who changed the world by first changing themselves. Now is the moment to make that promise. Place a bookmark at the end of the page and close the cover. Feel the weight of your choice settle in your hand. Remember that every night you return to those pages, you are feeding your mind. You are building a reservoir of insight, clarity, and vision that will guide every decision you make. You are investing in yourself. Tonight, before you drift into sleep, choose to read. Choose to feed your mind. Choose to grow. Choose to become someone who never stops learning. Pick up that book, open to the first page, and let the words transform you. Make reading every night your cornerstone habit. Then watch as your life follows the path you design. The person you want to be is waiting for you in those pages. Start tonight. Number 4. Save a portion of your income every month. Have you ever felt that sick twist deep in your stomach when you open your bank account and realize it's almost empty again? That feeling doesn't just sting for a moment. It settles in your chest, making every dollar you spend a reminder that you're not in control. It leaves you questioning your worth, fearing the future, wishing things were different. But here's the truth. Your future doesn't change because you wish harder. It changes because you make a decision. And that decision is this. You will save a portion of every dollar you earn. Not some of the dollars you have left after you've spent too much. Not when it feels convenient. Not when the stars align. Every dollar, every month. Saving a portion of your income is more than a financial move. It is an emotional shift. It's about looking in the mirror and saying to yourself, I am worth more than living paycheck to paycheck. I am worth stability. I am worth a future where money is a tool, not a weapon that can crush me when times get hard. The moment you save, you declare your independence from desperation. You send a quiet, powerful message deep into your heart that you matter, that you have value, that you deserve to live life on your terms. You already know the feeling of being trapped. Maybe it's a job that drains you every morning. Maybe it's a credit card balance that doesn't seem to move no matter how many payments you make. Maybe it's looking at people around you and thinking, why can't that be me? What separates those people from where you stand right now isn't luck. It isn't privilege. It's habits. It's discipline. It's making a decision to save when it feels hard, when it doesn't feel exciting, when every dollar saved means saying no to a short moment of satisfaction. Imagine, just for a moment, opening your bank account and seeing a number that doesn't fill you with fear. It doesn't have to be a huge number right now. It doesn't have to be enough for a year of expenses or a house down payment tonight. It just has to be more than it was last month. That number is proof. Proof that you can create change. Proof that your future doesn't have to be a repeat of your past. Every dollar you save is a seed you plant for that future, and every seed has the chance to grow. People will tell you it's too hard. They'll say that you have too many obligations, too many debts, too little income. Those are stories. What you must understand is that this is about making a choice that no one can take from you. The amount doesn't matter in the beginning. What matters is committing. If $10 is all you can save, save 10. If 50 is all you can save, save 50. What changes isn't the number, it's you. The first dollar you save tonight is a statement about who you are becoming. Saving doesn't mean living in misery. It means living with a sense of strength that most people never experience. It means knowing you have a buffer between yourself and disaster. It means making room for the opportunities that come only to those who have a foundation. You can't say yes to a new job, a new investment, or a new chance when your hands are tied to the debts of your past. Saving gives you room to breathe, room to dream, room to say, I am ready for more. Imagine walking down the aisle of a store and stopping in your tracks, looking at something you want and knowing you can walk past it. Not because you can't have it, but because you can. The difference is that you can say no when saying no serves the person you're trying to become. That is strength. That is discipline. That is freedom. What you're doing is reshaping how you relate to money, reshaping how money relates to you. You are making it a tool you control, rather than an enemy that controls you. It doesn't matter if you've failed before. Most people have. What matters is what you do tonight. Will you set up that automatic transfer to a savings account? Will you make the decision that a portion of every paycheck goes to your future before it goes to anything else? Will you accept that every dollar you save is worth $10 you spend? Not because it multiplies in interest right away, but because it multiplies in how you see yourself. You become someone who can make promises to yourself and keep them. Each dollar saved is a whisper in the ear of the person you want to be. It says, I have not forgotten you. I am building for you. Stay strong. Stay hopeful. Stay ready. Saving doesn't solve every problem tonight, but it gives you room to solve them tomorrow. It gives you room to focus. It gives you space to create. It gives you the chance to walk into meetings and interviews with your head held high, because you're no longer drowning in desperation. Think about the quiet pride that comes when you watch that balance grow. The first $100 saved, the first 500, the first 1,000, not because it's a number to boast about, but because it's a piece of evidence you can point to and say, I changed. I chose better. I refuse to stay stuck. This is how you build a bridge between where you are and where you deserve to be. Saving a portion of your income every month is not a punishment. It is an investment. It is planting roots deep enough to hold you when life tries to pull you apart. It is making sure that when crisis arrives, and crisis always arrives, you have a cushion that gives you room to stand. You can lose a job and still pay your rent. You can fix a car and still feed your family. You can say no to a boss who doesn't respect you because you have a safety net that allows you to walk away. Right now, this very moment, you can make a decision. Not tomorrow. Not next payday. Not when things calm down. Now, you can open that bank app and move $10, $50, $100 into an account that no one can touch. You can make this the first night of a new chapter. The night you stopped accepting struggle as your story and started writing a new one. The person you will be 5 years from now is waiting for you to rise tonight. They're hoping that when you end this video, you don't just nod and forget. They're hoping you stand up, open your bank account, and save that first dollar. They're hoping you prove to yourself that no matter how many times you've fallen, you can stand again. Saving a portion of your income every month is a choice to honor yourself, to respect your future, and to build a life that doesn't hinge on fear. You deserve that life. You deserve a night when you can rest your head on the pillow, knowing you have built a space between yourself and Christ. You deserve to walk tall every morning, knowing you have saved for yourself, invested in yourself, believed in yourself. Now is your moment. Choose to save. Choose to build. Choose to win. Do it tonight. Do it every payday. Do it until it becomes as natural as breathing. The person you will become will thank you for making this decision. And one day, when you stand in a place you've only hoped for until now, you'll remember this moment. You'll remember that this was when everything started to change. Number 5, speak honestly to build trust and respect. The moment you choose to speak the truth, you step out of the shadows and into a space where people can finally see you for who you really are. You don't build trust by saying words you don't mean. You don't gain respect by telling people what you think they want to hear. You build trust by saying the words that matter, the words that stand firm, the words that come from deep within. This is how strong connections are made. This is how respect is earned. And this is how you can change the quality of every conversation you have from this moment forward. You felt it before. The sting that comes when someone looks into your eyes and you can tell they aren't telling you the truth. It burns. It leaves a scar. It leaves a quiet voice whispering in the background saying, I can't trust this person. We've all felt that. We felt the sting of betrayal when someone promised one thing and gave another. When words meant for comfort felt like a weapon instead. You know that pain. You also know that being the person who creates that pain only adds more weight to your own heart. It doesn't have to be this way. You can be the person who stands tall, speaks clearly, and delivers the words that can be trusted every single time. Honesty is not a rule. It is a decision. It is a decision that you respect yourself too much to hide. It is a decision that you respect others too much to mislead. You can't expect trust if you won't first give it. You can't build strong relationships by trying to manipulate others with half-truth. True strength doesn't come from saying what you think people want to hear. True strength comes from saying what needs to be said, from looking someone in the eyes and telling the truth, even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. That is where respect is born. That is where character is built. Think of a person you deeply respect. Picture their face for a moment. What separates that person from the rest? Chances are it's not their title, not the car they drive, not the suit they wear. It's their word. It's knowing that when this person speaks, their words carry weight. You trust them. You believe them. You respect them because their words match their behavior. That is the measure of a person worth following, worth listening to, worth being around. You can be that person, not tomorrow, not when the stars align, not when you have a better job, a better title, a better moment. You can be that person right now. It will not always be easy. The truth can sting. The truth can shake a room. The truth can make people shift in their chairs and swallow hard. But the truth is what sets you apart. The person who speaks openly when it is tempting to stay silent is the person who creates an atmosphere where trust can grow. This is about more than words. This is about creating a space where people can rest, knowing that when you speak, it is real. It is solid. It is worth listening to. Look at the moments in your life when trust was broken. What happened? Someone refused to tell the truth when it was needed. Someone tried to cover a mistake, tried to shift the blame, tried to twist reality until it felt bearable. But that doesn't last. The mask slips, the lies unravel. And when that happens, the damage goes deeper than words. It goes to the heart. It goes to the core. It reshapes how people see the person who spoke those words. You can be different. You can break that cycle. You can build a reputation that shines brighter than any spotlight. A reputation that is built one word at a time. Imagine waking up every morning, knowing that when you speak, people listen because your words have been tested. They have been weighed. They have passed the test of character. You don't have to remember which version of a story you told, or worry about being exposed. You can walk tall knowing that every word you spoke came from a place of strength. This is how you create unshakable trust. This is how you build deep connections that last. This is how you create a life that doesn't require masks or excuses. The cost of a lie might seem low in the moment. It might seem like a quick way out of a tight spot. But the cost of dishonesty compounds over time. It finds its way into every conversation, every glance, every relationship. It creates tension and doubt. It robs you of peace. The cost of telling the truth might sting at first, might make your voice quiver, might cause a moment of discomfort. But it buys you the one thing that no amount of money can replace. Trust. Trust in yourself. Trust from those around you. Trust that when you walk into a room, people stand a little straighter because your presence means something. Think of a moment when someone spoke a hard truth to you, not to hurt you, not to humiliate you, but to help you, to guide you, to open your eyes. That person gave you a gift, not a gift wrapped in paper, not a gift you can hold in your hands, but a gift that reshapes the path you walk every day. True words have that kind of power. True words create moments of change. True words can unlock doors that lies will only bolt tighter. The person you want to be tomorrow is built by the words you speak today, the relationships you crave, the respect you seek, the trust you long for. It all rests on your ability to stand in the light and speak openly. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to win every conversation. You just have to be honest. You just have to have the strength to say what is real and stand by it. People can forget a lot of viz, but they will never forget the feeling of knowing that when you spoke, It came from a place of integrity. Trust is fragile, and that is why it is so valuable. Respect is rare, and that is why it shines so bright. You have the chance every day, every conversation, every moment to create both, not with a speech, not with a performance, not with a polished line that disappears with the wind. You create it by choosing the harder path, the path that speaks truth when silence would be more comfortable, the path that chooses honor over deceit, the path that builds a reputation worth remembering. Right now, this moment can be the point where everything changes, the point where you stand up, look yourself in the mirror, and make a quiet promise, a promise that your words will match your heart, a promise that you will be the person others can lean on when trust feels rare, a promise that every word you speak will build a bridge, not a wall. Today you can decide to walk this path. Speak honestly, speak openly, speak from the heart. Let your words be a beacon that draws people closer, not a shadow that pushes them away. The world doesn't need more noise. The world needs more strength. The world needs more people like you. Speak the truth every chance you get. Do it when it's hard. Do it when it's easy. Do it when no one is watching. Do it because it's right. Trust and respect aren't accidents. They aren't given. They are earned. They are built one word, one moment, one conversation at a time. This is how you create a life that doesn't collapse under pressure. This is how you build relationships that can weather any storm. This is how you stand tall when others fall. Speak honestly and watch as your world reshapes itself around the strength and honor you have chosen to live by. Do it tonight. Do it tomorrow. Do it every day until it becomes who you are. You deserve that life. The people around you deserve that person. The moment you choose this path, you step into a future defined by trust, respect, and a quiet, unshakable pride. Do it now. Never turn back. Number 6, eliminate toxic people to protect your peace. The biggest shift you will ever make in your life is the moment you finally understand that you owe yourself more peace than you owe anyone your attention. The moment you accept this truth, a weight you didn't even realize you were carrying will slide from your shoulders, and a space will open within you where strength, focus, and quiet confidence can finally grow. So many people walk through life drained, exhausted, and defeated. And it's not because they lack strength or desire. It's because they've allowed toxic people to occupy too much room in their heart, too much space in their day, too much voice in their thought. Think about that person, the one who leaves you feeling smaller every time you walk away from a conversation, the one who only knows how to find fault, the one who criticizes every step you take, the one who drains the air out of every room. Maybe you recognize them instantly. Maybe it's a coworker. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's a longtime friend. Sometimes you walk away from these moments feeling tired, questioning yourself, wondering why you aren't enough, why you can't measure up, why trying harder doesn't seem to fix it. The reality is that some people aren't meant to walk the path you're trying to walk. They aren't meant to be a voice in your ear when you're trying to rise. Not because they're bad people, but because their habits, their words, and their mindset don't align with the person you're trying to become. If you want a better future, you must be ruthless about what you allow to live in your present. Peace doesn't come by accident. Peace doesn't happen when you pretend that betrayal doesn't hurt, or that constant negativity doesn't take its toll. Peace arrives when you draw a line. When you say this far, no further. Peace arrives when you accept that saying goodbye to certain people is not an act of cruelty, but an act of strength and self-respect. You can feel it deep in your chest when you're in the presence of someone who doesn't have your best interests at heart. It's that tightness when you speak openly and sense judgment lurking just beneath the surface. It's that sting when your victories are met with silence or skepticism. It's that burning in your gut when you realize the person smiling in front of you doesn't truly want to see you win. Those feelings aren't random. They're signals. They're warning signs from a part of you that knows your worth and knows you deserve better. The cost of ignoring those signals is too high. You can't spend your days surrounded by people who have no interest in seeing you rise and expect to rise yourself. The energy you spend trying to win their approval is energy you could be using to build a better life. The moments you waste hoping for their understanding are moments you can never get back. The thoughts that race through your head at night because of their words or their behavior are thoughts that could be used to create a new path, to imagine a brighter future, to find a better way. Imagine a room where every person who enters it speaks words that lift, that teach, that encourage, that support. Imagine an afternoon where every conversation leaves you feeling stronger, more hopeful, more determined. Those rooms and those moments are not fantasies. They are choices. They are boundaries. They are habits. They are built one person, one decision, one conversation at a time. You have the right, no, you have the responsibility to create that space for yourself. Some people will try to make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. They'll call you selfish or cold or arrogant. Let them say what they will. Their words matter far less than the silence you can create for yourself. Silence that allows ideas to flourish, that allows wounds to heal, that allows strength to deepen. You don't owe anyone access to your heart when that access costs you your peace. You don't owe anyone a place in your story when every page they write only serves to drag the chapter down. Trust that when you remove toxicity from your life, you aren't making it smaller. You're making it larger. You're making space for the people, moments, and opportunities that deserve to be there. You're making room for the friendships that nurture, for the mentors that guide, for the quiet moments that restore. You're making room for yourself. This is where life shifts. This is where life improves. This is where life becomes worth living fully. Think about how you feel when you walk away from certain people. Do you feel drained? Do you feel tense? Do you feel ashamed for being hopeful? Do you feel guilt for striving to be more? Those feelings matter. They tell a story about the role that person plays in your world. You owe it to yourself to listen. You owe it to the person you can become. To walk away when that voice only speaks doubt. When that person only delivers pain disguised as concern. Life is too short to spend it constantly recovering from conversations, cleaning up emotional messes, repairing wounds that others have caused, and making excuses for behavior that you would never accept for someone you love. You deserve relationships that build, that heal, that uplift, that stand strong when the wind threatens to tear the walls down. You deserve a circle that inspires you to rise higher, to walk further, to try harder. That doesn't mean that every person you walk away from is bad. It doesn't mean you have carry anger or resentment. It simply means you have made a decision to honor the person you are trying to become. It means you have chosen to invest in moments that matter. It means you have learned that saying no is saying yes. Yes to strength. Yes to clarity. Yes to growth. Yes to a future that excites and inspires. The first step is to acknowledge the truth. The second is to accept it. The third is to act upon it, to stand tall, to draw the line, to release those who have only taken from you and never given, to make room for those who will walk beside you, hand in hand, when the path grows steep, to build a space where peace can live and flourish and bear fruit. Today can be the day you reclaim your life. Today can be the moment when you make a quiet, unshakable decision. The decision to protect your peace like the treasure it is, to surround yourself with those who honor it, to walk away from those who trample it, to create a world where strength, dignity, and serenity have room to grow. Remember this as you move forward. The person you are becoming will be shaped by the people you allow closest to you. Choose wisely, choose bravely, choose with your whole heart. Protect your peace, and you will build a life that feels like home, a life worth rising for every morning. A life worth resting in every night. A life worth sharing with those who truly deserve a place within its walls. Do this for yourself. Do this because you deserve it. Do this because the best version of you is waiting just beyond that line you draw tonight. Number 7. Plan your day clearly to stay focused. The moment you take a pen and write down exactly how you will spend your day, you claim your life back from the chaos that has been stealing your focus and burning your energy. You deserve more than a life spent reacting, rushing from one thing to the next, hoping it somehow adds up to meaning. You deserve a life where every moment has a purpose. Every hour has direction. Every decision brings you closer to the person you are working to become. The simplest, most overlooked way to make that happen is to plan your day clearly. Not in your head, not in a scattered mess of thoughts, but in a way that you can see, hold, and commit to. Too many people walk into the morning like it's a storm, tossed from one wave to another until the sun goes down, exhausted, drained, and defeated. Too many people spend their days responding to demands, putting out fires, checking messages, scrolling endlessly, and then wonder why the days slip by, why the weeks disappear, why the years carry their dreams further and further out of reach. You don't have to accept that. You can make a different choice tonight. You can draw a line across the page and make a simple promise to yourself, a promise that your day will belong to you. The person who succeeds in this world is not the person with the best excuses. It's the person with a clear path and enough discipline to walk it, step by step. Think about how much of your day you lose to moments you don't even remember. The 5-minute scroll that turns into an hour. The phone call that drags you into gossip. The slow drift from one meaningless task to another, until suddenly the day is gone, and all you have left is a sense of guilt for what you didn't accomplish, and a quiet fear that tomorrow will be no different. You can end that cycle tonight. You can rise tomorrow with a map in your hands, a roadmap for your time, a reason for every action. Not because life is about perfection, but because life is too precious to spend lost and distracted. The best days of your life are built one moment at a time. The best moments of your life are created when you decide in advance how you will spend them. This doesn't mean you remove every surprise or reject every spontaneous opportunity. This means you stand guard over your time. This means you recognize that every moment is a brick, and every brick becomes a wall, and every wall becomes the house you will live in for the rest of your life. You can build that house intentionally, piece by piece, day by day, or you can allow it to be built by accident, thrown together by chance and circumstance. People often say, I don't have enough time. The truth is that every person who has ever shaped this world, every person you admire, had the same 24 hours you have. The difference was never in the quantity of their time. It was in the quality of their focus. They refused to spend their hours like spare change, tossed to the wind and forgotten. They chose to spend their hours like a currency that could create a future worth living. You have that same choice tonight. You have that same chance every morning when your eyes open. A clearly planned day is a gift you give to yourself. It is a gift to the person you are working to become. It removes the weight of indecision from your shoulders. It removes the sting of regret from your heart. It allows you to walk into the world knowing that you have a purpose, that every step you take has a reason, and every task you complete is a piece of a larger picture. You owe it to yourself to stand in that strength. You owe it to yourself to rise each morning with a roadmap in hand and a quiet, burning determination in your chest. Imagine waking up tomorrow and knowing exactly where your focus goes first. The comfort of knowing that every block of time has a purpose. The relief of knowing that every moment you spend is a moment invested, a moment earned, a moment built upon a foundation you chose for yourself. You no longer wander from one distraction to the next. You no longer wonder at the end of the day where the hours went. You close the chapter of your evening knowing you gave your best, knowing your best was enough, knowing you acted as the person you promised yourself you would be. The world will try to claim your attention every morning. It will try to fill your hands with urgency and your heart with doubt. But when you rise with a plan, when you write down where your energy will flow, when you decide in advance what matters and what can wait, you build a shield. You carry that shield throughout the day, and it allows you to walk with strength, to say no when you must, to say yes when it counts, to move with intention when others move with hesitation. You deserve that clarity. You deserve that focus. You deserve to witness the version of yourself that emerges when you choose to live this way. At first, it may feel awkward, or it may seem too simple to matter. But this one practice can reshape the rest of your life. This one decision can be the difference between a year that slips away and a year that becomes the foundation for the best chapter of your life. You have a right to claim that chapter. You have a right to rise in the morning knowing that every breath you draw is part of a design you created. A design meant for you and no one else. You have a right to end the day with a quiet, satisfied smile, knowing you gave your best, knowing you lived with focus, knowing you refused to be pulled from the path that leads to the life you deserve. Tonight, as you set down the phone and quiet the noise, pick up a piece of paper. Decide where your hours will go tomorrow. Decide who you will be when you rise. Decide that every action will be a brick laid in the house of your future. Do this every night. Do this every morning. Do this until it becomes the voice that guides you. Until it becomes the strength that holds you. Until it becomes the foundation upon which your best moments are built. The person you long to be is shaped by the moments you claim as your own. Claim this moment tonight. Claim this morning tomorrow. Claim every night and every morning after that. What you create in those moments will carry you to places you have only imagined. What you claim tonight will change every chapter that comes after. Do this for yourself. Do this because you deserve it. Do this because the best version of your life is waiting for you to stand up and lead it. Do this tonight, and when you rise tomorrow, rise knowing you have a map, a purpose, a reason, and walk that path until it becomes the life you have always hoped to live. Number 8. Take responsibility for every choice you make. The moment you accept that every choice you make shapes the life you live, a wave of strength will rise in you. A strength that can carry you further than any excuse you've ever used to hold yourself back. Too many people walk through life pointing at the world, at their boss, at their friends, at the past, blaming others for where they stand right now. But the person who finds their way to a better life is the person brave enough to point to the mirror and say, "This is on me." Not because every circumstance was in their control. Not because every setback came from their hands, but because the decision about what to do next, about how to respond, about how to move forward, will always belong to them. Responsibility is not a weight meant to bury you. It's a key meant to unlock doors that stay closed, for those too afraid to pick it up. The person who embraces it is the person who can walk out of any room knowing that no matter how unfair the room felt, no matter how dark the moment was, no matter how deep the sting of failure felt, their story doesn't end there unless they decide it does. This is where the shift happens. This is where an ordinary person becomes unstoppable. Not when life becomes easy. Not when the odds suddenly tilt in their favor. Not when everyone starts cheering from the sideline. It happens when a person looks inward and chooses to own their path. Every step of it, every misstep, every victory, every lesson learned. Think about the moments when you felt powerless. The moments when life felt like it was happening to you, not for you. The moments when a voice in your head said, "I can't change this." Those moments can define a person, or they can redefine a person. The difference lies in one choice: to stay a passenger or to step up and grab the wheel. You can walk through this world blaming traffic, blaming weather, blaming the person in the lane beside you, blaming your car, your job, your boss, your family, your luck. And every time you do, you give away a piece of yourself. You hand over your strength. You surrender the one thing that can save you every time. The ability to choose differently. People wait for life to give them a chance. They wait for a sign. They wait for a break. What if the sign you've been waiting for is the voice rising from deep within, saying, "Enough, no more"? What if the chance you've been hoping for is right now, this moment, when you accept that every decision you make is shaping the person you're becoming? What if the break you long for can only happen when you break from old habits, old excuses, old ways of thinking? What if this moment, right now, is the moment you can claim as the point where your story takes a new direction? Look around you. The people who have built lives worth remembering weren't handed an easy path. They weren't promised a smooth road. They weren't given guarantees. What separates them from those who never rise is that when the moments came, moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when it felt like the weight of the world pressed down upon their chest, they refused to point at someone else. They refused to stay down. They refused to stay bitter. They refused to walk away from the person they promised themselves they could be. Responsibility doesn't make you smaller. It doesn't reduce you. It doesn't shame you. It doesn't punish you. It liberates you. It gives you permission to rewrite the story, to stand in the middle of the wreckage and say, I am still here. I am still capable. I am still making choices. The person who embraces this doesn't wait for permission. They create it. They don't wait for doors to open. They build a door. They don't wait for the storm to end. They stand in the wind and teach themselves to walk strong. Accepting responsibility doesn't mean accepting guilt for things you didn't cause. It means accepting authority for the person you can become, regardless of where you started. It means accepting that every thought you nurture, every action you take, every word you speak, every habit you form, is a piece of the person you present to the world tomorrow. You can't walk tall with a spine built of excuses. You can't run far when every step rests upon the weight of someone else's blame. You can only rise when you stand firm upon the ground you claim as your own. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing that every choice you make, every word you speak, every thought you focus upon is a brick laid in the foundation of the person you will be 10 years from now. Would you choose differently? Would you walk with a clearer purpose? Would you speak with more conviction? Would you treat moments like treasures? Would you stand in the mirror with more pride, knowing that every scar and every stumble has shaped the person looking back at you? The beauty of accepting responsibility is knowing that it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what came before. What matters is what you choose to do with this moment, and the one after that, and the one after that. Each of us has a point where we must decide. Will you spend your life hoping for better cards? Or will you pick up the hand you've been dealt and play it like it was meant for a champion? Will you wait for someone to save you, or will you stand tall and save others? Will you walk forward carrying every mistake as a weight? Or will you walk forward carrying every lesson as a weapon? The person who takes responsibility doesn't ask, why me? They ask, what now? They stand when it's easier to stay down. They rise when the world whispers for them to stay quiet. They claim every second as a chance to write a better line, a better chapter, a better story. The person you will be 10 years from tonight doesn't have to be a person shaped by accident. They can be shaped by design. The design you create tonight, the design you claim when you stand tall and accept that every thought, every word, every action you choose is shaping a future that no one can give you and no one can take away from you. This is where strength lives. This is where belonging is built. This is where the quiet, unshakable voice inside of you finds its place and grows into a roar that the world can no longer ignore. Today can be that moment. Today can be the line you draw. Today can be the moment you rise. Claim the pen and write the chapter you deserve. You don't have to wait for a better day, a brighter sign, a moment when the world keels like it's on your side. You can make the world stand beside you by accepting that every choice you make from this breath forward is a choice for a stronger you, a freer you, a more hopeful you. This is your life. These are your moments. This is your chance. Take it, own it, choose it, build it. You deserve a story worth telling. You deserve a life worth living. And it starts now, right now. Claim it. Number 9. Practice saying no to things that waste time. The biggest shift in your life will come when you understand that saying no is one of the most powerful ways to say yes to yourself. Too many people walk this earth exhausted, drained, and broken. Not because life is too hard, but because they have never learned how to protect their own time and energy. The truth is, every yes you give to things that don't matter is a no you're saying to the things that do. The moments you waste trying to please everyone, trying to fit in, trying to be liked by people who don't truly matter, are moments you can never recover. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't slow down because you're tired. It doesn't stop because you're afraid. It doesn't give second chances because you weren't paying attention. Time doesn't ask permission. It simply moves forward, every second pulling you closer to a future you have to live, a future you have to claim. So the question is, when you arrive at that future, will you be satisfied with the person you've become? Or will you be haunted by the moments you gave away to things that never deserved them? Look deeply at the way you spend your days. What are you saying yes to? What habits are consuming your hours? What distractions have taken root in your routine? What conversations are you allowing into your space? What people have access to your energy? These are not small questions. These are the questions that determine who you are and where you end up. The person who wakes up every morning and spends an hour scrolling through a screen filled with things that don't matter is the person who goes to bed every night with an ache in their chest and a quiet thought whispering, I can be more than this. The person who spends every evening saying yes to parties, to drinks, to meaningless encounters is the person who finds themselves 10 years later looking in the mirror, searching for a glimpse of the person they hope to become. The person who allows every request, every phone call, every opportunity to consume their time is the person who forgets how to live intentionally. Your life doesn't have to be this way. You can draw a line. You can stand in your strength and claim your right to focus. You can accept the fact that saying no to things that waste your time is not rude. It is a gift. It is a gift you give to your future self. A gift you give to the moments and people that matter. Too many people fear saying no because they fear rejection. Too many people fear saying no because they fear conflict. Too many people fear saying no because they've been taught that saying yes is how you prove your worth. But worth doesn't come from how much you give away. Worth comes from knowing what is worth your time, worth your energy, worth your heart. Imagine waking up every morning knowing that every hour you have is dedicated to a purpose. Think of how it feels to close a long, productive day, knowing you gave your best to what truly matters. The person who can say no to distractions is the person who can say yes to their highest calling. The person who can walk away from meaningless conversations is the person who can walk toward moments that shape their future. The person who can reject obligations that don't align with their values is the person who can accept opportunities that can transform their life. This is not about being cold. This is about being honest. Honest with yourself. Honest about what you deserve. Honest about where you want to go and who you want to become. Each moment you reclaim is a seed you plant in the garden of your future. Each no you speak to things that waste your time is a yes you give to things that matter. The more you practice this, the stronger you become. At first, it may feel strange. You may hesitate. You may worry about disappointing others. But soon you will realize that every no you speak is an investment in a future worth living. You will watch your focus deepen, your discipline grow, your confidence rise. You will watch the space around you shift, making room for people, moments and opportunities that match the person you are working to become. Time is the one resource you can never replace. Spend it like it's worth more than gold. Because it is. Spend it knowing that every second you give away to things that don't matter is a second you can never use for things that do. Spend it knowing that every no you speak is a brick laid in the foundation of the life you deserve. Spend it knowing that every yes you claim for yourself, every moment you honor, every boundary you protect, is an investment that will pay off for the rest of your life. This is the shift. This is where life transforms. This is where the person you've always felt deep down inside finally emerges. The person who no longer apologizes for prioritizing themselves. The person who no longer feels guilt for focusing their energy where it counts. The person who can walk through a world of noise and still find silence, clarity and strength. The person who can walk into any room and stand tall, knowing their time is sacred, knowing their attention is valuable, knowing their energy is worth more than any moment that doesn't serve their purpose. Today can be the moment you draw the line. Today can be the moment you accept that saying no is not rejection. It is protection. Today can be the moment you claim your right to focus, to grow, to build, to create, to live fully. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for a sign. Don't wait for someone else to tell you it's okay. Do it because it's right. Do it because it's necessary. Do it because you deserve a life where every moment has meaning. Every thought has direction. Every breath has value. Look at the person you want to be. What kind of days do they live? What kind of moments do they accept? What kind of conversations do they have? What kind of boundaries do they set? What kind of focus do they carry? That person is not a fantasy. That person is a choice you can make right now. And that choice begins with one simple word. No. No to the noise. No to the distraction. No to the things that waste your time. No to the moments that do not matter. No to the habits that keep you small. No to the people who do not honor your worth. Then watch as the space you create fills with things that matter. Watch as your days shift from moments you survive to moments you shape. Watch as your nights shift from exhaustion to reflection, from doubt to quiet strength. Watch as your life shifts from a series of lost moments to a powerful collection of moments lived fully and intentionally. The person you deserve is waiting. The life you deserve to have is calling. All you have to do is answer. All you have to do is say no. And when you do, when you finally draw that line, you will feel a shift deep within your chest. You will feel the weight fall from your shoulders. You will feel space open within your heart. You will feel for the first time in a long time that your life is truly your own. That is the moment where everything changes. That is the moment where you rise. That is the moment where you remember that every no you speak is a yes to the person you deserve to be. Number 10. Push through discomfort to build unbreakable grit. The moment you stop running from discomfort is the moment your life starts to change in ways you've only dreamed of. Because every person you admire, every person you respect, every person who has built a life worth living has learned this one brutal truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth, and discomfort is where strength is born. The things that hold the most value in this world always demand a price. They don't give themselves to those who wait. They don't fall into the hands of those who stay where it's safe. They belong to the person who chooses to step into the space where their knees are shaking, their heart is beating harder, and their voice whispers, "I don't know if I can do this." And that is precisely where grit finds its home. Think about the moments that shaped you the most, not the moments where life felt easy, not the moments where the path was clearly laid out, the moments where the ground shook beneath you. The moments where doubt felt like a weight pressing down upon your chest. The moments where you wanted to walk away, to give up, to accept defeat. Those moments you can still remember. Those moments when you felt like you had nothing left to give. That's where the seed of strength was buried deep within you. What separates those who rise from those who stay down is one thing: the decision to lean into that discomfort, to walk toward it when every instinct tells you to run. That discomfort is not a sign that you're failing. It is a sign that you're growing. It is a sign that you have stepped out of the shallow waters, where most people spend their lives, and into the deep currents that carve strength from the human heart. The pain you feel when you step into a space you've never been before is not there to break you. It is there to reveal you, to expose the person you can become when you refuse to stay where it's safe. To draw out a strength that only emerges when you stand at the edge and say, "I will go further. I will do more. I will not turn back." Look at anyone who has built a life worth mentioning, and you will find one common thread. They chose the harder path, not because it was popular, not because it was easy, not because it came with applause, but because that path was the one that shaped them. The weight of sacrifice shaped their hands. The sting of discipline shaped their character. The long nights shaped their focus. The moments of doubt shaped their resilience. They learned that every step taken when their legs felt too tired to move was a step closer to a stronger version of themselves. That's the truth no one talks about. The person you want to be doesn't live in moments of comfort. They live in moments when your heart is beating harder, when your breath feels sharp, when every voice in your head begs you to walk away, and still, you stand firm. You stand because you made a promise. You stand because you refuse to accept a version of yourself that doesn't fight for more. You stand because you understand that grit is not inherited. It is built brick by brick, moment by moment, choice by choice. Each morning when the alarm goes off and your body begs for a few more moments of rest, that is the first. Will you rise, knowing that the person you will be in 10 years is shaped by the person you choose to be right now? Will you walk out the door when it's cold, when it's dark, when no one is watching, when no one will ever clap for you? Will you stay when the workout hurts, when your legs burn, when your heart feels like it can't beat any harder, when every thought screams for relief? Will you rise when life delivers its punches, when failure humbles your pride, when heartbreak shakes the foundation of everything you thought you knew? Will you rise when doubt and fear walk beside you like old friends? Will you rise when rising is the last thing you have left? That is where grit is born. Not in moments when victory shines upon you, but in moments when defeat threatens to swallow you whole. Not when the path is lined with applause, but when the path is quiet, and your only witness is the voice beating within your chest, reminding you of why you started. Not when your body feels strong, but when every part of it begs for mercy, and you whisper back, one more step. Not when your friends rally around you, but when you stand alone, with only your conviction to guide you. This is the difference between those who drift and those who rise. Those who drift spend their lives searching for comfort, complaining when discomfort arrives, surrendering when the pressure mounts. Those who rise understand that discomfort is the price of belonging to themselves. They understand that the pain of discipline is worth a lifetime of strength. They understand that every moment spent in discomfort is a seed planted in the soil of a better future. They understand that grit doesn't happen in theory. It happens when the door slams shut and the room goes dark and the voice within you says, this is it. This is where you decide who you are. That voice lives in every one of us. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter where you failed. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen down. What matters is that you rise. What matters is that you stand in the discomfort and claim it as your teacher, as your guide, as your witness. What matters is that when every voice says, stop, you remember why you started, and you find the strength to carry on. Grit is not a gift. It is a choice. The person you want to be 10 years from tonight is built upon every choice you make right now. Every moment you stand when it hurts. Every step you take when your legs are shaking. Every breath you draw when your chest feels tight. You deserve a life built upon strength. You deserve a heart shaped by resilience. You deserve a future built upon moments when you refuse to walk away from discomfort. Moments when you refuse to accept defeat. Moments when you refuse to stay down. That person you imagine, the one you long to become, is not a dream. That person is a decision you can make tonight, a decision you can carry into every morning, a decision you can honor every time doubt finds its way to your door. Decide tonight that discomfort will no longer be a signal to turn back. Decide tonight that discomfort will be a beacon, a guide, a reminder that you are growing, that you are rising, that you are forging yourself into a force that nothing can break. Then walk forward. Not because the path is easy, not because you have a guarantee, not because you have all the answers, but because you have this moment, this breath, this chance, and you have the strength to make it count. The person you deserve to be is built by moments like these. Push through the discomfort. Push when your voice shakes. Push when your hands tire. Push when the world doesn't notice. Push when your heart begs for rest. Push until you can stand tall, knowing that every ache, every drop of sweat, every sleepless night was a choice you made to claim a life worth living. Then one morning when you rise and the sun shines upon your shoulders, when you walk to the mirror and look into the eyes of a person who refused to quit, you will understand why every moment of discomfort was worth it. You will understand why every test became a lesson, why every pain became a teacher, why every doubt became a step closer to strength. You will understand that grit is not a moment. Grit is a way of living. Grit is the voice that whispers when the world roars. Grit is the hand that rises when the weight is too much. Grit is the heart that refuses to walk away. Choose that, live that, build that, become that. The person you deserve to be is already within you, waiting for the moment you say, I will walk this path, no matter how hard it feels. This is your chance. This is your moment. Push through. Stay strong. Stay faithful. Stay relentless. The world will remember those who refuse to give in, those who refuse to walk away. Be that person. Become that person. The best chapter of your life is shaped by this choice, this moment, this breath. Push through. Build grit. Never stop. Never settle. Never forget why you started. You deserve this. You can do this. And when you rise, when you stand tall, when you claim your place upon this earth, you will understand that every second of discomfort was worth it because it shaped the person you were always meant to be.